It's Wednesday on YourView. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Nima Akasha Zabiri. How are you today?
Good morning, ladies. Okay, it was my sister-in-law's birthday yesterday.
Oh, nice.
I usually don't say sister-in-law, but just to put a mark to it so people understand. The kiss Akashat Abu is our name. Happy birthday, my darling. She's such a homemaker. She makes it home for us. You know, she's kept it everywhere warm since that.
As your brother's wife.
My immediate younger brother's wife. She's just there. And, you know, whenever she shows up at your house, you know, one thing I won't forget is that her first child passed at the time I had Imran, a week apart of each other. And at the naming, she just held Imran to herself. I didn't even worry about the child. I would show up, she's still holding him, you know. You know, some people at that point will be in a soft spot and, you know, but she's just there. She just likes to make everybody happy birthday. We appreciate and love you very much. I'm sorry that I couldn't call. I was held up in the rain yesterday, but
Fantastic.
I'll do that this morning.
How are you doing, Mariam?
Fine, thank you.
I really love your outfit.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Like Imran, like Aima.
Oh my God. You see, that is not a compliment. Aima is a child.
It is.
And you like,
It's a child.
Molded you in such a way that you don't want to express so much. So when we see her, we see you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We see the real you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Life Coach. I'm fine. Well, my book is on Conga.
Yeah.
Just know you can now order straight from Conga.
Yeah,
please, that's all I need to say. And already the orders are coming in. I'm so very blessed, and I am very appreciative of all of you and how supportive you have been. But for the rest of you, please go Conga. And it's still on Amazon as well.
Have you brought that book
You
on the
deserve
show?
it.
Are we seeing it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, I can't
of course.
remember. Okay.
We can bring it again.
Yes,
We can bring it
I'm
again.
like, I can't remember seeing it on YourView. Okay, I'm glad. Okay, fantastic.
Congratulations.
How are you doing?
Thank you.
I'm fine. I'm currently trying to get myself together. Work has started. I met work when I came back. I got movie scripts waiting for me when I got
fantastic.
back.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be doing my Easter Ramadan sales, but I don't have the energy to post. So just go on the page. It's 10% off. Whatever you pick is available. I can't even be posting pictures right now. I also need help. I need like a PA. I've let go of my PA because of some issues. So I've been doing all the work myself. And I do quite a lot. So it's sort of overwhelming for me. So I need help.
Male or female?
Definitely female. The way my work is.
Why are you discriminating?
No, the way my work is, the person has to be home most of the time with me.
Yeah.
I work from home.
See, this thing of domestic violence is going crazy because my DM is full. I'm sending messages. You know, I know someone very close to me that she was in a serious state yesterday. I mean, she was crying, and you know, I think her husband held a knife to her. I mean, in the midst of all this has happened, she has to lock herself up in a room, and she needs a place to stay. You know, she called me. I'm like, my house, I have 10 people living in my house. I can't accommodate.
There's no space.
You know, everybody's she's looking for where to go. You know, so it's just a terrible situation. I mean, she called the Lagos State they were there for her, but they told her she had to find a place to stay. I mean, they can't accommodate her.
Yeah, so
that kind of situation, how do you remove yourself from that?
We'll call one woman.
Some people have shelter.
I used to
shelter.
Yeah, I used to work with Project Alert on violence against women, and they used to have a shelter. So women who need a place to stay till they get their lives together.
For
So
some
I think
women, shelters don't really do it. The family home helps them through it.
and that's it. They have a family.
Parents.
If the parents are
I
willing.
know someone who's on her way to the UK now. She's a nurse. And 4 years ago, because her father just said, come back home, bring your girls.
It helped her.
That helped her. She got back on her feet. She passed her exams. She's doing well.
There are layers to this matter.
Might get her severe.
All right, let's go on a break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, let's start with the nation. More appointees resign in state over Electoral Act. Ajib line, sabotage cuts gas export. Buhari deplores heinous killings. Presidential tickets, why APC can't use consensus. Terrorists ask for millions of naira ransom on train attack victims. Oshun, INEC clears Oyetola, Adeleke, and 13 others. Lagos to begin issuance of driver's license. Okay, let's start with the terrorists.
Yes, so the terrorists that killed and abducted the passengers of the Kaduna-Abuja train are now demanding hundreds of millions in ransom. We remember there was a video that went viral where one of the kidnapped victims was let go, and they claimed that this attack wasn't done because of money, that they had some demands, and the government is aware of those demands, and that is why they did it. And so they were letting, according to them at the time, letting him go for humanitarian reasons and in the spirit of Ramadan. But, you know, the Kaduna State government has confirmed that one of the victims that was let go had to pay 100 million naira, and now they are demanding hundreds of millions of naira for the remaining victims. So obviously it wasn't really about demands, but about money. That's it.
The major headline. So, despite the tussle of the Electoral Act, remember, we're still going on the Section 84, subsection 12, saying that you have to resign, the appointees will have to resign before they now run for office. So many appointees have currently started resigning across party levels. So we observed quite a few in Ondo. I think even the governor of Ondo gave them, I think, a 48-hour ultimatum to resign if they are planning to run for office. And you know, many of these parties have to provide their candidates by, I think, June 3rd. INEC has given June 3rd date for them to all provide their candidates. So between now and then, we expect that more resignations will come in. Some other states have also, other governors across what I've been asking all their appointees to begin to submit their resignation letters now, so that they can know who and who is in and who is out.
Exactly, the Ajip line sabotage, the breach of the Ajip line gas line operated by the Nigerian Ajip Oil Company was, you know, vandalized. Let's use simple words. So, because of that, and it has happened twice now, they've decided to cordon off, depressurize, and, you know, of course, that has cut off gas supply for export purposes. They are looking at investigating it. Somebody is speaking on behalf of the Nigerian National Oil Spillage Detection and Response Agency is already speaking that, you know, their investigations have shown that this is due to vandalism. But if we continue to have gas exports like this, sabotage like this, without any consequence, we know what we are going to lose in exchange, because, you know, this is what we export as a nation, and we can't continue to allow this happen. It has happened too many times already. But notice has been given to the communities where these leakages happened, and so they are already aware. Everybody should stay off those areas where you know, they've been called on.
So the Lagos State government is saying that they may begin to issue the new driver's license. And this was said by the Commissioner for Transportation, Dr. Frederick Oladinde. And he said that this has been an ongoing conversation and meetings, years of engagement with the FRSC. And right now, they are almost rounding up the new license. And one of the other things they wanted to do was also try as much as possible to remove the bus, all these downfall from the roads, remove the tricycles. Said they've tried to do the partial removal, but it's not been working. So now they are ready with the buses that are going to be taken over from these downfalls. And so very soon they are going to do a total removal of the yellow downfalls from the road, a total removal of the Okada riders, so that we have an alternative that will take us to our different routes. Okay,
so let me just complete out this story, because it wasn't just the governors that are asking their appointees to resign. Interestingly, we're still waiting for Minister of Transportation to also resign, because he has also declared his intention to run for office. There's also indications that the Minister of Justice and Attorney General may be looking to run for Kebbi State governorship, and they also be required to resign. So we're looking for more.
So the ministers of states will now take over.
Yeah, possibly. Well, we'll see how that goes. Okay, let's move on now quickly to the Punch. PDP consensus suffers setback. Zoning panel submits report. Osinachi, suspects say wife ill before death. Police verify claims. Lagos nurse performs surgery on Edo businesswoman, victim dies. Army visits father of Oshun man tortured to death, hide killer's identity. Rejection of UTES will prolong strike, says ASU. Oshun, INEC releases final list, okays Oyetola, Adeleke and others. 6,000 Plateau attack victims displaced, Buhari condemns killings. Northern elders bemoan insecurity as Buhari asks Buhari to resign. Kidnapped train passengers not insured against terror attacks, says FG and officials. Okay, which story are we taking here?
I want to take the human interest quickly. So the family of a woman, Fatima Issa, are demanding justice. She had fibroid and went to a hospital not mentioned here somewhere. Okay, sorry. Fellow BAM Alpha Clinic in Mafuluku area of Oshodi. And she was made to pay 190,000 naira for the procedure. And then they carried out the procedure. Her sister had come in from Auchi with her to Lagos when she came for the surgery, and she was in the hospital when they took her in. But they had said to the sister to pay before the procedure would start. So she went to the bank to withdraw the money to pay. But when she came back, her sister had already been taken in for surgery. Induced surgery was done by the time she came back. And she saw that her sister wasn't breathing properly. But, you know, one thing led to another, she died. The hospital just continued to act as if, you know,
nothing happened.
It was a result of the surgery. She had a cardiac arrest, according to the explanation. Further investigation by the family showed that the person that carried out the surgery was not even a doctor. He was
Mr.
a
Lawrence.
nurse, you know, and, you know, they're asking that, you know, investigations are done. At least, I think autopsy should be done also. And this person the hospital not only shot, but that person prosecuted. Very, very important, because we have so many of such hospitals around everywhere in Nigeria.
Okay, so PDP, we're still having the same issues, same story being recycled over and over again. They're yet to decide. All the various candidates, there are quite a number of candidates that have actually showed interest in PDP, and they've not been able to decide if it's a consensus candidate or even if they're going to go into zoning. So that is still undecided, but it's looking like they might have to all resolve to either the direct or indirect primaries towards sometime in May, and that's the confusion. So the reporters here tried to reach out to all the candidates, and none of them were able to categorically say which direction the party is going to go. So, I mean, it's still a serious contention if the consensus, because all of them believe that they are well equipped and they have enough competence to run for the office, and they're not willing to step down for anybody. We'll see how that goes. It's really interesting.
Yeah, so Benue State on Monday, they're being described as marauding headsmen who attacked 3 local government areas and various villages in Benue State, Guma local government area, Tarka and Logo. In Guma, they said 9 people were reported dead. In Tarka, it says 15 corpses were recovered after the massacre. And the traditional ruler was also killed in Logo. Many eyewitnesses say that these killings were done simultaneously, almost at the same time. They came in attacking people, chasing them into the bushes. Eyewitnesses say even these numbers may just be inaccurate as of now, because there may be bodies still in the bushes. The governor of Benue State just says, you know, we are law-abiding citizens. This is just a direct quote. We have cried for help against these invaders, but nothing is forthcoming. We are left alone, and it looks like it is a deliberate strategy. Now we have only one option: to defend ourselves or be extinct. This is a case for our survival. He also says we have been accommodating other people in our land, but our hospitality is being misconstrued as weakness. We are not a conquered people. We will never be. We are free-born citizens of Nigeria. He's asked security operatives to do more on the intelligence level and tracking down these killers. But really, I mean, this is a story across. I've just read the Kaduna one. Now Benue, there's another one in Plateau State that will take it the next week.
Let me quickly say that the president also rejected condemned
as usual.
So we've been down this road before. The president is busy condemning, and the governors are asking people to resort to self-help. Do you want that? Is that a consequence any leader should be calm about? So action has to be happening now.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. YourView will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on to Daily Sun. UN PFM parties express fears over the 2023 polls. 2023 again, zone presidency to Southeast. Igbo Assembly charges APC and PDP. Insecurity, Northern elders tell Buhari to resign. Obi competent, capable of leading Nigeria, says Bode George. Nigeria press among world's freest, says federal government. Strike. I'm not against renegotiation of an agreement with varsity workers, says Ngige. FG releases 40,000 metric tons of grains to cushion high commodity prices. And Buhari to security agents deal mercilessly with killers in Plateau.
Abia, a non-political pressure group, Igbo Delegates Assembly, IDA, in the 19 northern states of the Federal Capital Territory, are again appealing to the All Progressive Congress, that's the APC, and the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and other political parties to give the Southeast the opportunity of producing the next Nigerian president. So they had a communique that was signed, and I want to quote what they said. They said, we reinstated that Ndigbo believe and need one united and indivisible Nigeria where equity, justice, peace, love, and fairness reign supreme. We also reinstate our sincere appeal to Nigerians of all ethnicities, geopolitical zones, and the religious traditional institutions, all the political parties in Nigeria, to zone presidency of Nigeria come 2023 to the Southeast geopolitical zone for the interest of peace, love, equity, justice, and rapid progress of Nigeria. And they also, appealed to INEC to ensure that all the modalities that are needed for the 2023 elections are made seamless so that a lot of people can be captured in this election.
ASU.
Okay.
ASU is accusing the National Information Technology and Development Agency of deceiving Nigerians. They're insisting that the test that, that needs issued, that the test they conducted on the UTAS system developed by ASU showed that the system software payroll failed, and its integrity test, and that it is not good for the system. But the ASU chairperson, let me quickly get his name, ASU Lagos Zone person, Adelaja Odukoya, said that what they did was simply a betrayal of the trust of the people, that the UTAS original test that NITA is basing this assessment on, the first test, that the system had a 97.4% score, summary score.
That's success.
That was the first one that they did.
Okay.
And that the other tests that were conducted between March and 18th had in attendance several representatives, but NITA based their first test on the conclusion on that first test and issued their conclusion to the Minister for Economy and the Digital Minister for Communication and Digital Economy, that this system was not good enough, and that if a person scores 97.7%, does that amount to failure? No,
does
that not mean that certain improvement can be done? On the other hand, the Minister for Labour is saying that he's not opposed to any negotiations with ASU on this system. This is the core of the fight that is bringing ASU to strike every
payment
time.
platform.
And I keep saying, can they not meet each other halfway?
Halfway.
Even if it's, let's even assume that that system did not make 100%. On a 97.something%, at least you people can rejig that system and improve on it.
But why are they also insisting on using that particular system? What happened to the IPPIS?
Besides, see, the IPPIS was a government initiative. Yeah. The university system...
But the government is the employer of these
people.
System
right, so let's not debate this, but it was just about for us to discuss the paper review. So I was going to take the story on the question if the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development has said that the President has approved 40,000 metric tons of grains to be released to farmers. And this is to cushion the effect of the issues we're having, high prices, the commodities that are high, and the fact that the festive season, Ramadan is coming, Salah, Easter, and all that. So to cushion the effects so that people can actually have more produce to work with in their farms. Also, one of the reporters asked him what types of grains are being released. He now said the sorted is going to be sorghum, maize, and millet, and the rest of them will be released. And this could help many of the especially they have the chicks that always think that they eat many of this maize. So it would be great for them to so that we can have more of these protein for the season. So I'm happy, but another reporter was asking concerning the insecurity with the farming. He now said that they have park rangers who actually help them. So there hasn't been a sharp drop in food produce. That yes, as a factor of base, but people are still eating. There's still some food because we have park rangers who are ensuring security with those various
Nigeria is a free country for press freedom, according to the Minister for Information and his spokesperson, his special assistant on President. They say they're responding to the World Press Index that puts Nigeria at 120 in the World Press Freedom Characterization, which means that Nigeria has a reputation of West Africa's most dangerous and difficult countries for journalists. They are totally disagreeing with this. they issued, you know, what they believe in, that this Nigeria trying to regulate social media has been mistaken for Nigeria curtailing press freedom within the country, that there's no such thing, and that, you know, regulating that only facts and responsible reportage is done on certain media and social media as well, is what they're doing here. I sort of agree, you know, because we've got this argument back and forth.
Yes, over and over.
Vanguard. Plateau massacre bandits shot beheaded victims in their homes. Oh, my Lord. Presidency, PDP's aspirants ready to accept consensus candidates. So this is contrary to what I read earlier. Fake drugs. We stopped shipments of 80 drugs from China and India, says Adeyeye. Boko Haram bandit cells. Kaduna government DSS tango over intelligence report. Easter. FG declares Friday 15th, Monday 18th April at holidays. 2023. Emir Abdute endorses Amechi for president, says he's the most qualified. Osinachi, husband of late gospel music star, had a secret wife, says family source. And insecurity, why 2023 elections must hold. Okay,
so
who has
that quickly?
Yes, go ahead.
NAFDAC has issued that about 80 drugs from China and India should be removed. In fact, they have removed them. They conducted tests in 19 laboratories in India and China, and they found some to be fraudulent. They found some not to even meet up, you know, the bright standards to produce drugs. And so shipments that were heading to Nigeria from those laboratories, about 80 products of them totally removed. And I hope that the list will come out quickly so that people will be able to quickly check and find the website to go. So they said they've also procured 40 units of handheld device worth $57,000 each to detect the quality and quantity of medicinal products in the country.
Right.
Yes. So in Plateau State on Sunday, local government area and Wase, local government area, some of the communities were attacked and people were killed. They were massacred. That is the description of what happened. The official number of people that were killed is 78, but eyewitnesses are saying that there are a lot more than that. They said they came in through the land that government had prepared for the ranching the ranching project. And that's how they came in on motorcycles. They had cutlasses. They were running after them. They were beheading. They said it was a slaughter of communities and people. And now, after the fact, people are moving away from these communities to their relatives' places, and government is trying to also maybe put them in safer places. The presidency has come out to say it is a heinous crime, and they're asking security operatives to do the needful, find out who these people are, and punish them accordingly.
How do you keep finding out who these people are every day, every week,
like
every month, and yet you're not getting these people?
It's what it seems like.
I mean, it's
according
just
to Governor of Kaduna State, they know who they are.
They know who they are. Who they are, they know where they stay.
Being calculative about how to go and find them.
Okay, contrary to the report I read in Point that says PDP consensus suffers setback, in this paper, Vanguard is saying, on the contrary, according to Saraki, former Senate President, was saying that they're having a meeting today, and by today they will agree on a consensus candidate, that many of them are willing to drop their candidacy for, their intentions for, or their ambitions for a consensus candidate. They're also saying that the meeting today they will discuss the zoning issue. So at the end of today, hopefully we'll have some answers. So I guess the reports are a bit contradicted each other. And we'll wait for today's meeting.
Yeah, so there are indications that the Nigeria Labour Congress, which is the NLC, may cripple the economy for 3 days in solidarity with striking 4 university-based unions. So they had a meeting, NLC had a meeting with these 4 university-based unions yesterday to find out why the federal government has failed them in, addressing some of the concerns that they have raised. And they also mentioned that they are going to set up another committee called the Central Working Committee that would help them find solutions to the growls between the federal government and these 4 based universities. And they are also, at the same time, they are going to ensure that their job as NLC is to ensure that this matter is resolved. And one of the ways that they plan to do this after this CWC committee is to do a 3-day strike, shutting down the economy. Nothing is going to be working so that the federal government can listen to them. That is what they have.
Okay, moving on quickly to the Nigerian Tribune. Insecurity again. Northern Elders Forum asked Buhari to resign. Lassa fever fatality rises to 19.1%. Buhari directs release of 40,000 metric tons of grains. 2023, I won't submit myself to zoning in APC, says Yahaya Bello. PDP zoning, we are not pursuing northern agenda, Saraki Tamboa Mohammed says. 25 killed, several missing in Benue communities during night invasion. And Awolowo family mourns Odinamadu, National VP of UPN. Okay,
Lassa fever. The federal government has said has confirmed that Lassa fever cases are on the rise, and that the present fatality rate is 19.1%. So they give us numbers. They said currently we have over 3,000 suspected cases in 23 states across the country, 681 confirmed cases, and 132 deaths currently. The Minister of State for Health, Dr. Mamara, is saying that the government is trying to encourage, is being deliberate when it comes to enforcement, and that they are also trying to focus on long-term improvement of water, sanitation, and hygiene facilities, also to eliminate cholera. And he talked about COVID, and he gave numbers of how we have over 4 million people who have been tested for COVID-19 currently using the PCR and the rapid test. And he says that as of April 11th, it is revealed that over 250 Nigerians have tested positive for the virus. But he says, going forward, Nigerians should use their mask in enclosed places, but anywhere else, they should use their own discretion. So just like a loosening of the guidelines, but just saying federal government is working hard to.
Yahaya Bello.
Bello, the governor Yahaya Bello said that because Nigerian Tribune investigations showed that they have zoned, the APC have zoned presidency to the south, considering that the national chairman of the party comes from the north.
We've known this a while ago.
Coming from North Central is now saying that, Mio, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to breathe. I'm not going to do zoning. He says that instead of zoning, we should look at competence.
Yes.
We should look at it. I've been doing zoning since 1960. It didn't work. We should do competence. I know good breathe.
What would be a competence test?
I don't know.
Okay, we get that story. Okay, I think we're doing good time today. Oh, we're out of time. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Is there any other story we missed?
Yes, you haven't gotten to this
Guardian,
paper.
Cardinal most hit as attacks on power plants, rail airports peak. Anger as FG cuts workers' salary. Akeredolu asked political appointees contesting for 2023 to resign within 48 hours. Senators LG boss react as death toll in Plateau hits 101.
Yeah, so federal government employees yesterday are complaining that some of them received incomplete salaries for the month of March. These were non-teaching staff of the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, ATSBU, in Bauchi. They said that they had already presented that they were supposed to go on strike to the government. So probably they are speculating maybe the government is now reducing their salary based on the no work, no pay policy. But the government isn't supposed to do that. They're supposed to give them like 3 months even after the strike before they do that. Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to our hot topic of the day. We actually have a sponsored segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this issue of domestic violence, and we'll be taking it from a different angle. I mean, as many know, last Friday when the music gospel singer Osinachi died, and they were alleged that she died as a result of domestic violence, lots of people have come forward to express their various experiences in this same regard. But today, more videos have come out of different people who have been abused by their spouse. And what is worse is that many of these videos were recorded by third parties watching. A few videos our producer is putting together that hopefully we can be able to show before the end of this segment. But our focus this morning is the people. We, the people. The culture of silence, not just the victim, but also the bystanders, the family, the in-laws, the friends, those who feel that, yes, she deserves it. And regardless of the crime this woman may have committed, does she deserve to be whipped like an animal? Animals these days do have rights abroad.
Yeah, they do.
Animals have rights too. So the truth is that let's talk to ourselves, we the bystanders. We'll discuss more about the victims later, but the people who sit and watch, why do we rather keep quiet? Is this a protection of us? We don't want to get involved. We don't want this villain to also turn on us. We're also protecting ourselves, our family. We don't want to get, you know, what exactly do you think would make somebody watch another human being beat up and look the other way? Mariam?
Okay. So I don't understand it. I always feel that I would not be able to stand and watch someone being pummeled almost to death, you know, hair pulled out, and I don't get it. But I am aware of some sentiments. I've heard where there's violence and then you hear people say, yes, she deserves this. You know, that girl, when she comes to our compound, she just walks, she does not greet anybody. Good for her. Do you understand? So we have a culture that really sees violence as normal. We don't really see it as something that, I mean, there's a way we can categorize it and accept it. So if a child is being flogged, no matter how badly, some people would, you know, some people would let it go because that child is badly behaved and deserves to be flogged that way. We have the culture of raising our children with flogging. So we're raising people who are becoming adults and thinking that the way that they can handle any situation is to flog. And we have people who stand by and just watch. But I don't get where the empathy is, where someone cannot step in. In growing up, I used to know that maybe older ones, much older ones, you see they want to put their bodies in between, and because of the age of that person, the perpetrator would stop. But why won't able-bodied people step in? Why won't able-bodied men see a man who is physically able to break someone into two and just stand in there and stop the person? Why don't they carry them and take them straight to the police station? You know, I see this thing all the time, almost like also like encouraging this violence against women. I just feel that we have a culture where it sometimes looks at violence against women as acceptable. And we need to change that, starting from how we raise our children.
There's an angle that says your husband is your father. You know, there's this saying, oh, your husband is your father. So whatever, sometimes he corrects you and puts you into place. I mean, listen, I have heard people say, as a young single girl, I've traveled to conferences, can you call, you talk to, so I have heard it in my subconscious mind. They say, okay, but then, whatever happens. So they come with that narrative. And the woman enters her marriage and says, okay, he's supposed to be my father. Maybe he's correcting me. Maybe something I did. Maybe there's something I did wrong. Because a lot of women have that mentality. And when they have that mentality, those around them too have that mentality that he is the man of the house, he's the father of the house. And if he hits you, it's because he feels it's okay. And maybe that's why they don't get involved, Nima.
Yes.
Okay. So there was cultures where the man is like the patriarch, untouchable, lord over all kind of personality, where when he's upset, it's only him and his victim, and everybody just be thanking their God. Thank God it's not me today. So everybody just be like, you know, and they'll just corner away, and they don't think of their numbers. And I posted a video once. It was in the Arab world where a man was married to multiple wives, and he wanted to bring in another wife, and he had been abusing the other women, not physically, by, you know, denying them monies. And they thought of their numbers and gathered him, tie him up, beat him very well. In that video, 3 women, and I found some form of empowerment, because growing up, that patriarch who was untouchable for me, the family becomes a family. I don't want to go to their house. Even if my parents say, just take food, I would never want to have anything to do with that person. So some people have that culture. And so such bystanders are busy just thinking their God is not their head today. Can be anybody's turn tomorrow. Then there are the ones that I loved. I grew up I was initially born in somewhere in Western Avenue where you just see there was this family, and sex was the issue. At 1 a.m., 3 a.m., the woman is shouting, I'm tired. And the man is just to have sex. And I remembered my parents would come out, neighbors too would come out, and my father would say, come, hey, man, this is the simple issue. And, you know, he would stand up and say, I remember the man kept saying, Afa, they sleep with my wife. Why they defend, you know, that kind of thing. But it didn't stop my parents till we moved.
From stepping in.
From stepping in. So I knew that power of third party. And there was one time my father said, if this happens again, because the woman obviously was from an Edo, another Asian tribe, and my father would say to him, because they would speak their language between each other, and he would say, if it happens again one time, I will take you go for both. I will beat you where you go see beating. And, you know, little by little, their interventions reduced that noise. I was such a child at the time. And I remember one I would never forget. When my mom went to go and interfere in a couple's fight like that, and the man wanted to beat her, she said, if you land your hands on me, I'm not your wife. And because of that, he pursued her to our own house. She locked him in, and she got him arrested. She said it was assault. So the matter led to police station in Area C. Then I was still in primary school. But because what the man simply did was move away from our community, because he just couldn't continue that behavior there. He saw that there was, you know, opposition to such a behavior. So that bystander thing is the real danger for me.
Yeah, it is.
In the situation of Orikueyo, all of you are in danger.
Yeah.
Why not add up your numbers and do something? Then when it is not your business, is it the life of somebody else that you're okay? Let me just mind my business.
Yes.
I just don't understand mind your business.
So this bystander, let me come to this bystander issue, because many people just don't, they choose not to get involved. Either because even when they try to get involved, they try it, they talk to them, and they become the, you know how a caller told us during the week that I help them to solve the problem.
They settle.
And then they settle, they start laughing, and now become the enemy because of that. So people just choose not to get involved. Well, either he's beating you today, tomorrow now you'll be chummy. So don't put me inside this matter. What are your thoughts on this issue of bystanders?
So for me, number one, we're forgetting how to be human beings. Everybody is now so focused on themselves. If it doesn't affect me directly, any other person can go to hell. That's one. Secondly, we're not a country or a society of taking responsibility. Nobody wants to be the first person to call somebody who is doing bad out. I'd rather shield myself and not consign me, and you move on. Now, one of the things that I see is also the fact that we're very concerned about what people will say about us. So if I get involved with Morayo and the husband, and then they settle and they use me to laugh, I'm bothered that they will now feel I'm a bad influence. What is my business with them feeling I'm a bad influence?
Very good.
I want to help her because I see that she's struggling, and that's okay. Even if they call me a bad person, that is okay. But because I don't want them to see me as a bad person, they will say I'm the one spoiling the wife, they will say I'm the one trying to scatter them, they will say I'm the one trying to do this. Everybody just wants to stay aloof and allow it. It's as bad as even parents noticing that such an abuse happens to their daughter and they want to take themselves out. After all, they will sort themselves out. That was how I managed for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years with your father. He repented later on. We need to sit up. We need to, number one, teach the women not to train what they do not want. We train what we tolerate. That's my slogan these days. Anything that you're tolerating is because you are the one that is not making noise about it. You are accepting it, so it becomes the normal. The man that is hitting you because you ran your mouth, or does the boss not insult him in the office? Why don't you raise your hand on your boss? Because you feel, okay, if I raise my hand on my boss, they're going to sack me. But you come with your cowardice to a woman who you are supposed to be protecting. Your bone is bigger for protection. And you are beginning to destroy the person you're supposed to be protecting. And everybody stands by and it's not my business. It doesn't concern me. We need to change as a society. We need to take the bull by the horn.
Are we not the ones that say, mind your business?
No!
Wait, that's the truth.
No. When it comes to evil, we cannot mind our business when it comes to evil. Because that is our business. Exactly. And it will come. Okay, let me give you an instance shortly of what happens to a woman who stays in an abusive marriage and raises children in that. You change the mindset of those children. They absorb all of the impressions, and it starts playing out later in the years when they are married to their own spouses. So most of these people that abuse their wives today, their parents abused their mothers in their presence. So we are building because it's not our business. We allow evil to thrive. We are building it, and it's becoming, it's trickling over and over and over in the society. So at some point, we need to step up.
Let me quickly add to what you said. So, not just that they will insult you when they settle, is the discouragement about bystanders putting their mouth. Some people are just egoistic. If they settle, you'll be like, after all my work.
Yes.
Auntie, if they settle, it's still your work now. And if some people will not say, because they settled the last time and they have another fight, I will not go and put my mouth. That's the danger.
Ego.
Every time there's a fight, put your mouth as much as you can.
Yes. Okay, let me go on a break because I feel like we're speaking with two sides of our mouth. Because as much as I agree with you, I know that we have over the years told people to stay out of people's businesses.
No,
stay with us, we'll be right back.
There's a way to stay in.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So there was a video we watched that actually spurred this conversation. And I must say, viewer discretion advised, seriously advised, because it could be a bit heart-wrenching. Watch this. Okay, so we saw that online. Everybody, I mean, it's being passed around. And this is a man pulling a woman through her hair, using her hair, kicking her like a football on her face. He kicked her with her leg. And aside from that, now, as I said, we're going to continue this domestic violence topic tomorrow because we have Thursday's our topic on that. But our focus today are the bystanders, those men, able-bodied men watching, somebody also recording. And the issue is that, why do we do that? And I think during the break, Mariam raised an angle, which I thought was really crucial. She said that if you're a bystander and you've seen this happen over and over, so he beat her yesterday or last week, you complained, you went to him, he beat her again the next day, you went there, took an appeal to settle it. The third day, the fourth day, he keeps doing that. And we now get to the point where we're recording it. So as a bystander, you are tired of talking. You've come to settle fight back to back. How do you participate in something two adults have chosen not to fix?
May I make an attempt to respond?
And that's, okay, and that is what, you know, we have to talk about support system. When everybody says, when something happens like this, if it leads to serious physical abuse like this or death, as, you know, the case in point that we've been talking about, is that people are asking, where is our support system? So the support system can only give you the support that you want them to give you based on the decision you've taken for yourself per time. So your support system will be, and this is what I mean, your support system will be with you. If you decide to stay in an abusive marriage, they will talk to you about it. They may involve the police about it. They will, you know, pray or different things. And then if after all that you refuse to leave, the support they will give you is wipe your tears every time you come. Listen to you, wipe your tears, because they know that everything else that they have tried that should have made you take yourself out of that situation and you haven't. That's the support they will give you. The support they may give you is also document it for just purposes, yes, something would come up. That's one. So that is why we say, in the end, you have to make that decision for yourself. Your support system would not carry you and bundle you. If they do it the first day and they do it the second time and do it the third time, the fourth time they will not carry you. They will just come and visit and tell you sorry. And we hope that, you know, you're strong enough again to take it the next time. There's a part, I know it may sound as if I'm victim blaming. That's not the case. We need to remind, I know that there are different categories of why women stay. There are some people who would say it's because if I leave, how would I fend for myself? If I leave, I don't know anywhere else. This is the man I know. So the category of a woman who says, I've known this man all my life. We've been together since we were teenagers. If I leave, I don't know. So there's a large number of women who will tell you that. We teach those women that there is another option. You can do, you can move out. That support system will guide you through that moving out.
Yes.
There are those who have everything that they can thrive outside, but they don't see it. You will try and encourage them, but after a while, you have to let them make that decision.
Right.
And then when they make the decision to leave that space, then you'll be the support system that supports them in their new environment, which is, okay, here I am now alone, without what I'm used to. Even though it was abusive, even though it was, toxic for me, here I am. So the support system has to be the one that will rally around you, get you shelter, speak for you, encourage you.
I'll come back to this
and
support
things like
system.
that.
A woman who consistently accepts domestic violence is damaged beyond measure. Today they beat you, they apologize. Tomorrow they beat you. For years you've been living with it, you have normalized it, it has become a way of life for you, is damaged. And that woman can only be helped by either choice or by force. Now, I like the fact that she mentioned a support system. There must be one crazy person in your family. Every family has one mad person that will dare the gods and say nothing will happen.
Some don't.
No, you must have. You must have in your family. Find that auntie that is crazy, that does not listen to anybody, and go and report your matter to her. And even the bystanders, sometimes you have tried for these people, they are not your family members, they are strangers, and you've tried and tried and tried, it's not working. Find the lady's number and get a family member to be involved. Find that one auntie that is crazy. Every family has it. I am that one auntie that is crazy in my own family.
Yeah, I don't think I have any crazy auntie.
You dare not. I'm sure those are your aunties that I've seen.
What
are you talking about?
You're not ready,
Auntie.
it
No,
will not
listen.
happen.
No. See, I said by choice or by force, depending on the extent of the damage. Sometimes the damage is so deep that if somebody does not lift you out of that thing, you will die. Like what happened to this lady. She needed a force to lift her up. Lock her up somewhere. Take her to a therapist. Keep her there.
What
you
if
are
they
crazy.
have done
There's nothing. Listen.
No, I'm asking. It's a question I'm asking.
So she needs to heal.
So what if that had
If
happened?
they have done it,
Yes.
lifted her out,
Yes.
taken her to where she needed to heal,
Yes.
and she has healed,
Yes.
by herself, she
Yes.
will now make the choice.
No, and she decides to go back.
No, that is not healed.
Wait, let's bring this to a Nigerian setting.
Yeah.
And I know the things I have done. I'm not proud to say them publicly. But I have seen where somebody exactly like this man beat his wife right from inside the house into a puddle of water. I came back, and just because they were narrating what happened, I went to greet him. I said, I know governor. I said, Governor Bode that time, he has been on our show. I work on television. I just need to tell the governor that
What
I
you
have
are
a
doing.
mad person
What are you saying?
around. If this ever happens again. And that's curtailed it.
Yes.
Sometimes just what you cannot do, just describing what you cannot have power to just make empty threats sometimes. And there's this evil that bystanders do, which is looking at whatever provoked that beating, say it justifies it.
Yes.
Most times in Africa, it's when adultery, suspicion of adultery, or any of such things. A man will now reduce the wife like this. Bystander will say,
Yes.
Fine it is.
Yes.
The reason is because I'll quickly, there's no rushing in this matter. There was I'll bring two cases in view. There was a killing in Iba, local government. He made the headlines. We took it here on Human Interest Stories. A boy and a girl dating. She was a former prostitute. He said he will remove her from the street. He brought her home and she went back to the street. Fight happened. Everybody minded their business. The next morning, we're discussing murder. There's a case of the banker lady whose mother-in-law said, leave this, my son. He will kill you. And she didn't leave, just like Miriam said. But her family could have been caught. But nobody did that. When we were fast-forwarding the matter, somebody had already died. The guy had been sentenced now to life imprisonment in Lagos State. We have such records. We have many, many such that we can talk about that brings the fault of the bystander out. See, it is not about your ego, and it's not about the number of times that you have been there. It counts when the number of times when you turn your back and something wrong, something irreversible happens.
Let me take this call. Good morning, Olayemi. Are you there?
Then,
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Right, okay. I want to give you an example of this domestic violence. Some people, they don't want to come out of the violence. I'm close to 60. Some 30 years ago, I met a young lady. Can you hear me?
Very clearly. Go ahead.
Some 30 years ago, I met a young lady. She was living with us, not living with us, we were sharing the same flat. So at the night, I heard them crying, shouting. I forced the door open. I saw this girl side down and put plaster on her mouth. I said, why? And I asked her, since you have not even engaged, leave this man alone. You believe she refused to leave the man. She went into the marriage. I learned, and after 2 kids, she have left the wedding. Some refuse. If you go in, they call you amiable. I'm close to 60. Since then, I've mind my own business too. That is the problem of those women, we women. I told my husband when I was young, I met a young man. He's very wealthy. He gave me a dirty slap. I withdraw the law till today. I withdrew the law. Very, very rich. He's a DG now.
So, thank you, Olayemi, because that is my own worry. We tell women, mind your business, don't get involved, don't let people, don't bring a third party, keep it to you. And this same man who used to don't bring a third party. It's the same man that now saying, call somebody now, call her auntie, find this auntie. Find, I mean, so people who say don't bring a third, those men, those fathers and mothers who are advising you not to bring a third party, they know that sometimes this man will slap your face.
You know, because you have not told them that, you have not told them the extent of the slap. So when we say don't bring a third party is for issues that can easily be resolved. You don't need to be dragging the whole family members to come and resolve those issues. Your normal, we all have challenges in our marriages, the normal arguments that you have. You don't need family members. You can talk it through. And that's why we advise as much as you can keep it within, keep it within. But when it comes to issues of violence, when it comes to issues of domestic violence, physical, sexual, emotional, you must bring people in to save yourself.
Don't tell a third party is a fraud.
We forget the psychology of an abuser. I did an extensive research on this at the time I was working with this non-governmental organization on this. And we realized that the typical abuser is a coward. The typical abuser is a weakling. The typical abuser is fearful. So if you say we don't want to because of what he will do, he dares not when he sees somebody he is afraid of. So use that fear against him. And if you touch this person, we will deal with you, we will lock you up.
A lot of systems.
See, they say you can bring a horse to water, you cannot force it to drink. I hear all of you and I hear your points about the fierce person, the government person, the whatever. In the end, you have to take that decision for yourself, and we need to teach women that.
Yes, we agree now.
Nobody will take that final decision for you. They can carry you, put you in a box, lock you up in a dungeon. The day they release you and you find yourself there, how many times will they do that for you? No, you have to make the decision. Your life is in your own hands. The decision is yours. Simple and short.
We can
let me finish. I'm still talking. Thank you very much.
We know. Go ahead.
Now about do not involve a third party. I need to mind my business. I understand that too. And I feel that there are ways that you can mind your business without being in people's business. And that is when I will ask, we'll talk to government. In societies where they have bodies, as in that work, and I know in Lagos State they're doing very well with that, with, DVs. But we need to be able to, I as a bystander, need to be able to report a case. My neighbors, I noticed that this and this and this is happening. And then that office can go and do their investigation without me, really being right in it. Yeah. So that is how we can mind our business without being, because yes, there comes a point where people have gotten involved in domestic violence issue and they ended up dying or, being hurt by it. Right. So we need a system that encourages people to be able to...
Let me take this call from Yakub. Yakub, you've been holding for a while. Good morning, Yakub. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, there's one important word I think I should point out this morning concerning this topic. Especially it goes to pastors. Because in Islamic way, when you are getting married, they will make you to know that there is a room for divorce. They will let you know that from the point of go. Because a marriage that you're going into, and then along the to identify the red flag. The person that you got married to, the first time that he raised hand and claps you, you can give him warning. Dare not do this again. If you did it for the second time, you should be able to know, yes, This is the red flag. That is number one. Number two, what I'm trying to say earlier is that when pastor is trying to join two partners together, they always say this word that I don't know why. They will say for better, but definitely for slap, for stay, for stab, for stay, for killing, for stay. Why? So they should be able to remove this very particular word of for better. When you are using for better.
Thank you, Yakub. So as I said, we're going to focus more on this domestic violence tomorrow because that's going to be our focus tomorrow. But today, I wanted to do it bystander. We have to wrap up.
So don't tell a third party in a fraud. There must be a trusted elder. And my culture says they will find that trusted elder for you before you even marry the married. So if you they don't have, you will find that motherly person, elderly, somebody who's discreet that you always talk to. Is that person who will see you dying and say, hello, man, kill your child. Come and carry your property. That trusted third party, find it wherever you are. Share what you can. Manage what you share when you know the person's nature. Be discerning. That's one on one side. No verse. On the other part of this issue, the dangers of you being a bystander and saying it's the choice of the other party. So sometimes the victim is unwilling to leave the situation, but you can change the predator. I mean, what's it called?
Yes.
The man.
The mindset.
The person who is beaten.
Let me help you.
You can change that person's mindset. Yeah. If you are a man like him, or another woman who's willing to stake what you have on that case, report him. Yes. Let them arrest him. Let him know that it is possible that I'll be arrested.
Yes, let me
if you don't do that, if you can counsel him, if you are the one who can reach him, if you are the one who can threaten him into changing, do what you can.
Yeah. So I like that. So I like where you, because I was going there. Now the thing is, it takes will to wake up and understand that this is not for me. It takes a strong will to do that. And before you get to that place, do we allow you die before you make that decision?
I do understand.
That's where the bystanders and all those crazy aunties come in. We help you to get to a point where you are reasonable enough to understand that this is no longer working for me. I may either live here or end my life. I may die if I continue in this. But we need to lead you up if you are that weak and that damaged not to be able to wake up by yourself.
Victim is usually weak.
Lead you up to that position.
A victim is usually weak or conquered. Somebody has to help. Because they always say a man should look for Onibawi, somebody that can talk. But there's some men that don't have Onibawis. There are lots of men.
But that's a red flag.
There are some men in this country. They are the breadwinners of all your ancestors.
It is a red flag.
They are the ones feeding the whole generation.
It is a red flag.
So nobody can approach that person. So there are different angles. So we'll talk about it another time. But as I said, we cannot finish this conversation. It's the conversation of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, now that we have, because as I said, YourView have been discussing this for years, but they called us men bashers.
Yes, so.
But now that this one has happened, that's given us the key to flog this issue a bit more, so that people understand the gravity of the matter at hand. Let's go on a break. It's Wednesday. We have the women we love in the building. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. YourView will be right back.
So it's our Women in Politics segment, and joining us now is a woman who started her career in property and facility management. She has a background in print and electronic media as a television presenter on NTA on the program Faces and Events. She was also the managing director or CEO of the National Mirror newspaper and the publisher of today's Prime News. A thoroughbred politician and women rights activist. Please welcome with us Honorable Kafilat Ogbara, Commissioner for the State Audit Service Commission. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you on the show. So the ladies of YourView and I have decided that this season we're going to be supporting a lot of women in getting into politics, that they need a platform to tell us what they've done. We know you're currently the Commissioner for the Audit Services right now, but why are you running for office? For a new position, and why do you think you can do better?
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to commend the crew, YourView, and I want to also commend TVC as an organization for giving you the enabling, environment to be able to do this, because a lot of women need more of this in all our media platforms. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, I am in the Lagos State Audit Service Commission as a member there, and I have been doing my bit in terms of employment for our people in my constituency, and I have also been trying to support our people in my local government in various ways. And for me, service at any level is service to humanity. It doesn't matter the office I'm holding. If I'm asked to come and serve as a counselor, if I think that is where I can touch lives, my sister, I'm ready to serve at any level.
Very good.
Because this country, we need to make deliberate efforts and take deliberate steps to ensure that we all contribute our quota in different ways to help in the development and growth of this country. A lot of us travel around and we know what happens all over the world. And then you are bothered that when exactly are we going to get there? So this is something that I am passionate about. I am very, it's not about holding a public office. I've started all this kind of emancipation right from my UNILAG days. I was the first person to break that jinx when they reserved just the assistant secretary for girls in University of Lagos. And I said, look, I want to be the OSU treasurer, and nothing is going to stop me. When I ran my campaign on campus, my sister, they thought I wanted to be a governor. And that was, I had the highest votes ever recorded in the history of UNILAG then. So, and I became the OSU treasurer, by the grace of God. Right. So there is nothing men can do that women cannot do. What is it that they are doing that we cannot do? Nothing. So that gender equality must come to be. Good. Because that is the only way we can have the real growth and development that the world needs. Today we know that the world is facing a lot of challenges. We have problem of poverty all over the place, hunger, climate change, bad health system and all that, all over the world. And when you have big challenges, it takes only bold, steps to be able to curb these challenges. Yeah. And this is why world leaders have come together to, come with global goals, to achieve global goals. Right. Because without having all these goals, the targets, there is no way we can solve all these problems. Okay. And in these global goals, we have gender equality. Yes. So until we get it right.
Just for clarity on my question, what office are you running for?
The House of Representatives, Koshofe local government, by the special grace of God.
I would like you to tell, let's just bring it to the Koshofe constituency alone first. What are the issues that you see? Recently, I was driving past one of these local government I will not disclose, and I'm very familiar with the reps member for that place. And I just saw his billboard, continue the good work. I was like, as in I never suffer.
Your area.
in an area.
So, within Koshofe, what are some of the issues that you'd love influence and power to change? Because you would see they already have representatives. What are they not doing exactly that you'd love to change?
If it's not broke, white fix.
My major challenge is with young people. And for a long time, I have always clamored for generational shift. I have always thought that, a lot of our politicians, a lot of our leaders, most of the time, they are there 20 years, 16 years on the same position and all that. When exactly are the young people going to take their, rightful place? And we have a lot of young people that are very intelligent, brilliant, that can do a lot of things in this country. But they need the enabling environment. But sometimes people also canvass that maybe the young people are not ready. They are not ready. Because most of the time they go on social media, criticize the system and all that. But what alternative are you bringing on board? Are you organized enough to do something different? So you find out that a lot of our young people are unemployed. And we know that it's not just about getting the jobs for the people. But while I was at the Audit Service Commission, we did an employment process, and we were able to employ a lot of young people from my constituency. I was able to influence that to ensure that a lot of young people got the job. But most importantly, we need to give them what they need to do to be self-employed and be able to create more jobs. So these are the aspects. Going to the House of Representatives is beyond just a constituency problem. It's looking broadly at the national issues and the national problems that we have as a nation and as a country. So you have to go there to see how you can influence the right laws. If we have the right number of women in the National Assembly, what happened to all those bills recently wouldn't have happened. So we need women, women representation that would truly represent even the interest of women.
But in fairness to the lawmakers, many of them voted for that bill. Many of the vote, that's in the Southwest, many of them were told actually voted. Do you think, I mean, that's also a step in the right direction, that we have lawmakers who believe in gender rights?
Were the bills passed? No.
So, that's in the end. You know, many times when we have people who want to be representatives of a community, of a place, I always like to know in what ways they have engaged them, in what ways they have participated in anything with them or impacted them. Could you tell us what you've done?
Well, in Koshofe local government, I was the candidate for the House of Reps in 2003. I contested against Honorable Dr. Annie Marshall, who was in this party then. So because of the party, I didn't make it. 2007, I contested against Honorable Dayo Bush as well. I was the candidate. So for you to know that I've been around for a while, and I've paid my dues. Yes, I've paid my dues, and I've been at it, and I'm not relenting. I'm not giving up. So it's like a lifelong time ambition, which, by the grace of God, this is the right time that God is going to fulfill it.
Amen. So how are you galvanizing the grassroots women to support you? Because what we hear most of the time is when women like you want to aspire for certain positions, and we help you get there, you just forget us. You wear your fine gele, fine.
Have you heard of swagger?
Bling, and then
have you heard of swagger?
What is swagger?
Well, swagger is the Southwest agenda for Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And by the grace of God, I am the national coordinator for women in Nigeria for Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Coordinating women across the whole country in support for Ashwaji Bola.
You know those women that are singing?
And
you know them,
those women that are singing.
I'm a singer myself.
There's a particular interest I have in those women. Those ones,
they are my own. They are my people. They are swagger.
Can you help us bring them?
If anytime you want to do anytime you want them, they will be here. So I live for them.
Let me quickly add another question. So, how also do you intend your voice to be heard in the house? Because I feel that women in the houses, their voices are sort of
That's the real issue.
There are certain politics that they are not able to play, and so you bring this, they push it aside, you bring that. How do you want to make that?
Do you know that whatever you do, whether politics or not, it's about the personality. It's about you. So even when you get to the house, for instance, I tell people, all these people that represent us in Abuja and everywhere, at the national, whether as a minister, as a senator, whatever it is, Abuja is like a national pool. You have to bring your personality into the office. It's not about the office. It's about you. Sometimes we have national executives and somebody is just an ex-official. And you find out that that ex-official member will be the one that will be controlling what happens in the whole of that executive because of the personality. So it's about you. It's about who you are sending there to represent you. As a House of Representative member, for me, I can open any door to ensure that I protect and get the interest of my people back.
So your party is yet to select who the candidates will be. I mean, I know there'll still be a selection at some point.
Yes.
But you talked earlier about focusing on the youths. Now, we've seen also in the past where honorables give them keke-napebs, empower them with computer training, empower them. I mean, we've seen quite a few of these around Koshofe. We've seen that. In your view, what do you plan to do to counter that, or to make it better, or to add to that, or to take from that?
Yes. I don't know if TVC was at the empowerment program of Senator Tokunbo Abiru. That was a breath of fresh air, because what he did was something very different in the political terrain. He brought, banks to come there. He brought a lot of people to give them a lot of trainings. Young people, educated young people from different, strata, from schools and everywhere. And then he also brought industries. He brought this CAC to do registration for you instantly if you want to register your business. A whole range, everything was there. A one-stop empowerment program where the banks can even give you a loan if you have a business idea that is very, that was very laudable, that was very encouraging. So we need more of that. And I think our representatives at every level, not even only the National Assembly, even the local governments, the houses of assembly, we have to rethink and re-strategize in terms of the, the kind of, what do I call it now, dividend of democracy that we want to bring back to our people, by ensuring that whatever we are bringing back to them is indeed something that will be beneficial and that will create even more jobs for our people, not giving keke napes or other. Although there are some category of people that these things may be beneficial.
Some might argue,
but we shouldn't. Yeah.
Some might argue that experience is better than even when it comes to lawmaking. Somebody has been there for a while, knows the intricacies, knows how to get around. If you're coming in fresh, it might be difficult for you to break through. How do you think you want to plan to break through?
Well, for you, experience counts, and I believe that experience counts. But like I said, it's about the personality. And of course, those that are there, that have been there, they started from somewhere. So, and it also depends on your level of IQ, how you are able to, your intelligence, and how you are able to brush up and catch up, and how you are even able to have a good interpersonal relationship with people that you work with. It's not about how long, but how well, and how you as an individual is able to penetrate. There's something we call lobbying, penetrating, and also, doing this thing. We know how we do it politically.
Your response brings me to, this question and this opinion that people have when it's like, when women want to sit, they just want to be pitied. Let's give them something to compensate them. But you're using terms and terminologies that says to me, this is someone that's involved in the politics of things. Could you shed more light in, would we say, politically, what you have achieved?
Well,
maybe not just in Koshofe, but other things that you have done.
Well, in politics, most of the time, we talk about gender equality. This is not just an issue of human rights. It's something that we believe that is essential for the growth and development of the country. Because once women are empowered, the nation is empowered. There is no amount of effort or, programs that we do as a nation, as a country, or as a government that can be beneficial, like ensuring that women are properly positioned. Because once a woman is properly positioned, she's empowered, the children are fine, the immediate environment is also okay, and she knows how to influence her immediate environment. And for me, as a person, I have served in different parastatals where I have been able to ensure that I come back home to mentor a lot of other women. I always ensure that women's rights are not abused. And where I see that, they want to do anything that has to go against a woman, trust me, they know I will always speak up.
You're a champion
so
for
I
women.
do this in it's an open,
All right. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about family, because, sometimes juggling, work, family, being obviously in politics for a while.
Late night meetings.
Now you want to go to Abuja. How do you want, because there are a lot of women saying you like, wait, can I actually take this kind of step? Is it possible? How do you plan to manage the whole thing?
It's very possible, because this is one of the problems we have as women. Most of the time when women come late from meetings, you find out that if you are a family that have your in-laws around, they will see it as, she's coming late. Where is she coming from? And things like that. But if it's a man that is coming late, they see that it's the breadwinner. He has gone to the hustle to bring food on the table. So these are some of the issues. But you find out that late night, that is when the real decisions are made.
Why?
That is when you can get things done.
Can we change it?
For me, from my experience, when I was in PDP, I wanted to contest the House of Assembly election. And most of the leaders, they had this G14, or was it G15? They were like, no, she just came to politics, blah, blah. Then I just left it like, she just came to politics. No, this is the person we are going to use. And then they started. When we wanted to do the primary election, I walked round the clock. The person I saw at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., till morning. If they line them up, this one will say she came at so time. I changed all the elections. By the morning when they wanted to deal with the primary election, I won. They were shocked. They cancelled it. But coincidentally, it was a woman that was the head in my local government. I remember then it was in her house, and she was part of the people that was like, no, this is the person, the men, all of us want to use their hair. So they said, let's do it again. We did it again. The same thing. I went out. Sometimes my husband followed me. Well, we did it, and then I won again. Third time, I did it, I won again. So in the long run, you know, they have
You're ready to do the
So you have to be ready. It's not about being a woman, or let's give it to them. We have to give them a certain person. You have to be capable and be able and be eligible to
But you have this pretty
and you have
fine
to also
face,
work very, very hard.
You have this pretty fine face. This
no, women should not wait to be served a la carte. They should not. You have to work for it. You have to get it by merit. And don't think because you are a woman, you can influence it by back door, or the backside, or whichever one. No.
Doesn't last.
Work for it and get it by merit. That is my position.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, it's good to hear when women have ambition, because recently, this whole Ebele Chukwu and thing that happened, that she's running for Senate, and unfortunately, sadly, the video that came out with the slap with Bianca showed that, because she had come out and said, listen, I was only trying to go and greet her. And this is a woman that is running for Senate, and we're thinking to ourselves, okay, you're running for Senate, you're telling us stuff, can we believe what you're saying? Because you just lied about walking from here to go and greet, when you actually went to go and harass them. So we need you to show competence. Have you lied to the public? Have you, are you the person that do you have credibility? Do you have integrity?
True.
Have there been situations where they found that your word is not your bond?
Yeah,
We have this kind of things in the house. I hope you don't have this kind of issues.
No, by grace of God. No, look, when you're coming out to contest an election, you have to check yourself. You have to check yourself very, very well. And even from home, you have to make sure the home is settled. I'm happily married. I have children. I have a grandchild. I have graduates.
Grandkids?
I have two lawyers.
You look a day after 30.
By the grace of God, by the grace of God. You know,
wow.
and my children are grown up, and sometimes they have their own opinion. For instance, they will tell me, Mommy, you're your own, this is your APC. Young people, we have our own agenda and all that. So it's not about just coming into politics. You have to, from home, your politics starts from home. And you have to have that 100% support of the family before you go out.
Fantastic.
Or else you will not be stable. There is just no way you can do it. There's no way. My husband is my pillar, is my rock, is my everything. And I have his 100% support. Even when I'm coming on programs like this, he shares his opinion and trust.
That's all we can say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
The best. As I said, we're opening our platforms for women to run for office, who are running for office. Let us know. We'll be happy to give you the platform to tell us why you deserve our votes. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Thank you.